Good morning.
Good morning.
So, here we are on this beautiful day. Welcome. Since this episode, it'll be split into two parts. This is our 100th episode. Yay! 100 episodes. All right. So, let's do a brief. It's right here.
Okay.
So the microphone got to be placed in a central location so that, it can be heard from everybody. So let's do a brief review, okay? So our 100th episode, we're going to recap. So if you went back and watched, the first episode, right? Back when we had to get the camera together and figure out the lighting, and I think it's like amber in color. It's like red and amber. So if you were back there, then the reading is fine. You can hear what's going on. So now if you're trying to figure out where we are, we're all the way in Deuteronomy now, reading straight through, getting the lessons that were given in each stage. Right?
Yes.
So we started, and the story of the Exodus, we pick up in Exodus chapters 19, and we read all the way to Deuteronomy 6. Now, Exodus chapter 19 picks up and begins in the third month of the Exodus, when they were being gathered to Mount Sinai for the renewing of the covenant. Okay? So this is the beginning of them getting themselves organized and putting themselves together. And then what you find out in this first year that they came out, that there was a struggle, right? There is the immediate power struggle between Moses and Korah. Then there is the resurrection of idolatry, and the people are trying to outnumber Moses and not implement the law.
Challenged.
So they're challenging him because they outnumber him.
Yes.
So once they kind of think, listen, this is a good idea, and this will benefit me, and then they include the other people who it can benefit, the people are easily swayed. This is bribery. This is bribery and backdoor politics. So when you wonder why the Most High has not gotten you from your captivity, is because you're still practicing in this. And in coming out, there isn't pressure on you to change.
Right.
You will implement the same systems. Rabbi Sheikh, how do you know? Because for the last 7 years when I was living in Israel, as I began to try to help people and bring them out, I ran into those same issues. It wasn't a question of whether or not it was the time of the children of Israel to come out, or whether the Exodus was finished. The Exodus time had come, and the time of the captivity was over, but nobody wanted to accept the process, the rules, and the ideas. I spoke to a number of leaders who all know and accept me as the birthright leader, but they would hoard their people and keep them from coming into the community, trying to play a political game.
Wow.
You see? So these politic games is, why should I send you the people? I'm the bishop over bishops. I have bishops and big churches under me. We have over 100,000 members. Why would I bring them here and exchange our religion and give up my power? Because if you tell them this truth, I will lose. And then I have to change everything that I taught them. Why would I do that?
So it's pretty much about their pride and their ego.
Same thing. This not only happened among the churches, this happened also among community leaders. Well, if it's not financially prosperous, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Or if they can't control the way the money is to be distributed.
So now it's not for the best interest of the people. It's to make sure that they're in a position of power to gain wealth. And what happens if they do come into this system? Will they have to accept a lesser or a less prominent role? Right? They're associating financial power with political power. So they could play politics, set up structures that has to be profitable for them because they want money to be power, which is against the law. In our law, money is not power. Money is wealth. It does afford you to buy things, to make things, to develop things, to prosper in things, but it's not power. Right. You can be wealthy and not have power except to buy. You can buy, you can travel, you can go as you like. Nobody cares. You're still not a powerful person. In our society, the person who have the birthright has the power. He can command an army and he himself have little to no money. He cannot be rich. He can be the high priest. And he have all this gold, but all of this is tied to his service. And he himself, he's just living.
Yes.
He have the authority, but he is not allowed to enslave or profit from the people like the people are his cattle.
Wow.
Which is what the leaders of today have been used to. So this is where I learned what the problem was. If I implement this law over the people who are currently in any position of any type of organizational power or authority immediately get restructured. Why? Because the person who is appointed to the new position of power is one who has learned and mastered this system. He is one who is obedient to this system. He is appointed by the system. And the law is a system. So the current leadership would be lost, a new leadership resurrected in this place, and that person who have the wealth, he's just a rich guy who has the wealth, but he's sitting on the sideline, and he's basically a regular person again. He's just a regular person with just money.
Right.
And he can only buy the same things we buy. He can only develop the same things we develop. Okay? His money may afford him to build a little bit faster, but everybody's on the same track.
Right.
You see? And since he can't profit himself in the same way, right? So now your brothers and sisters, you can't profit off of them. You can only profit from off of strangers. You have to work with the administration to do so in a lawful way. And their reign of tyranny and destruction of the world from a new continent that is rich in bountiful resources, yet undiscovered. And now you got these foolish people in Africa showing every discovery of every kind of wealth and resource to be sold for them to make money. You have a government. You know you can make your own money and back it behind what your resources are in your government. Why would you disclose this and not use it for yourself first? But alas, there is no wisdom among them anymore. Why? It is here among our law, which it says the nation that will walk in it, the children of Israel. And this is both blood and those who just wish to be among us and live among us peacefully, following our laws, one law, one judgment, that they will have success too. They still have to go back to their lands once they're livable and inhabitable again, but that is the law of it. So, 100th episode, and now we're recapping what the law is, what the law does, and how it works. It's the governing system of a people. It is encapsulated in an Abrahamic covenant, which an Abrahamic custom, which has yet to be taught, because any customs or traditions must be experienced. You must live it. You cannot take the Abrahamic customs out of the land of Abraham. It is attached to it.
Right.
So you can't keep the Shabbat anywhere else except here. You cannot possess land anywhere else except here. Oh, they can sell you whatever you want, but because you won't be able to implement the law upon it, because it has its own functioning system. It has a government above you. So if the government isn't running the system of the people, then with this law, then the Most High will destroy it as well. That's what's happening. You can accept it or reject it, but as for me and my house, we will obey and serve these laws. So, yesterday, we read about, returning and joining with your wives and teaching them the law. Look, this is my wife, and she's here. Right? So if the law says do it, I do it. Right? This my sister. She don't have a husband. She's here too. Why am I insistent upon teaching the women the law? Because the women are the first line of education to the children. Once the custom and traditions are instilled in them, then the children that come from them will live in it. The first level of education comes from the mothers. Then it transfers up to the fathers, and then up to the community level, then up to the city level, then up to the kingdom level. It's always transferring up. Different levels of education. But if you don't get the culture, the customs, and the traditions, you'll never have nothing. All right, we'll be back, and then we'll start our class.